Good evening and a warm welcome to everybody here who is logged in and who is also logged in to watch us live on our various platforms. This is our introduction session on financial success model for women. And you could have been anywhere this Wednesday evening, but you chose to be here because you've chosen your financial upskilling. It is said that in the the financial industry statistics say that only 1 out of 3 Indian women take their own investment decisions. That is, only 33% of women take their own investment decisions compared to 64% men. And you, who is here today, you make the 1 out of the 3 Indian women. So it's a privilege to be in the midst of each one of you. And I warmly welcome everybody. And you could be logging in from different cities. So it's a privilege. So we have Deepesh who's here with us, Pooja, Priya, Simple, and many other women who would be logging in and then watching us live on the various platforms. In this next 90 minutes that we will spend here together, I am going to give my best along with my team to create value for your financial life. And you make sure that you are taking full value out of your participation here. Now, how can you do that? Some of the ground rules are, so this webinar is for 90 minutes. So if you have any appointments at all, I suggest that you leave right now and you join us again the next time. But if you're here, then please be here for the full 90 minutes so that you truly experience value being created in your life. Also, I trust you have pens and papers handy. If not, please take a few seconds to grab a pen and a paper because you want to make notes. This webinar, it changed my life, something similar that I attended 7 years ago, and this could change your financial life too. So do get your pen and paper handy and keep it ready and do take notes. Also, we will be giving some time to Q&A. So if you have any questions that come up for you, do make a note of these questions. And in about an hour, we will also have the Q&A section. And we will answer as many questions as we can. Also remember, one of the rules of deriving full value out of being here is through engagement and through your personal participation. The more you engage, the more you will gain. So during the duration of this webinar, we will be using the chat platform most of the time. So do use that. I hope everybody is aware of where you can find the chat function on your phone or your laptop. So do engage, and the more you engage, the more you will gain. So how many of you who are here with me on Zoom ready to engage and ready to learn? If you're ready, then please type in the chat ready and we begin. Okay, so Pooja is ready, and so is Simple. Awesome, awesome. So what is it that you will learn here today? So in this webinar today, you will learn about inflation. You will learn about the 3 phases of wealth creation and steps to create wealth. How do I do it? Okay, got that, Deepesh? All right. So that's what you will learn here in the webinar, the 3 key takeaways for anybody who wants to take charge of her finances. And by the end of this webinar, you will have absolute clarity on what action you need to take next for your financial success, to take your money life to the next level. So I want to now take a moment and share a little bit about Women on Wealth, who we are. So Women on Wealth, we are a women-centric community, and we help women take charge of their finances. And how do we do that? We do that through our online financial training programs and coaching programs, so that women like you and me can learn how they can manage their money better and grow it effectively. And doing all of this with a lot of clarity, confidence, and independently. So this is our 10th year in business. We've been around since 2011. And in the last 10 years of work at Women on Wealth, we have helped women who had been living paycheck to paycheck, who couldn't save money. So they have come here and they've learned how to increase the saving within the same salary. Women who are in debt, we have helped them. Women who did not know how to invest and build their own investment portfolio. So we have helped such women too. Women who came in to learn the basics of finances, or someone who did not know how to pick the investments themselves. These women who came in with these challenges and today earning 40% returns on investment, and some even 80% on the investments. Women who used to be dependent on a broker or husband, brother, father. So they have come in and learned the art of doing their own financial research and making their own financial and investment decisions. Also, women who had many goals but didn't know how to approach them. So they have come in, and today their women have bought their properties, they've become debt free. They are on their way to reach their financial freedom through a proper financial plan that they have built themselves, and they're also building their own businesses. So this is a bit about Women on Wealth. We are also the India partners to Cherie Blair Foundation for Women, and each year we, recommend our women, our community members, to the free mentorship online program that Cherie Blair has. If you don't know Cherie Blair, she is the wife of ex-UK Prime Minister, Mr. Tony Blair. And in fact, Cherie Blair and her team, they had also visited our Delhi center 2 years ago, and that's when they offered the India partnership. So that is also something that our community members explore at Women on Wealth. Also, we've been featured twice in Femina Magazine. We've also been featured in Zee Business News, NDTV 24/7, BBC News, Entrepreneur Magazine, and various other blogs and magazines, and the internet. So this is a bit about Women on Wealth. And now a little bit about me. My name is Sheetal Gurung, and I'm a debt-free expert at Women on Wealth. I came in because I had financial issues of my own. I had been working in a really good company and had been earning decent salary for myself. However, the first 10 years of my working and earning life, I did not save enough money. I had no investments. In fact, I walked into a similar free session 7 years ago, where I discovered that in my lifetime, I had actually made, and I could at that point calculate that I had earned 28 lakhs. All this while I had thought that I wasn't making enough money, because a big problem that I had was I used to be broke almost every month. I was living paycheck to paycheck. So when I found that I had actually brought in 28 lakhs in my life, I was really surprised, because I thought I wasn't making enough money. So in the free session, the next question that was asked to me was, so for all the money that you've brought into your life, what do you have to show for it? And I had nothing to show for the 10 years of hard work that I had done, 10 years of income that I had brought in. I had zero investments. I had no knowledge, and hence I had not been investing. And that really opened my eyes to this reality that I could go in working much harder, earning a lot more money, but I would still not have anything if I continued on the same path. I had to take different steps. I wanted different results because at that point, what I could really see was I could continue and I could still be with zero assets built. And that's the time I decided to become financially skilled and I joined the Women on Wealth community. Of course, one of the other problems, not just living paycheck to paycheck, the other problem I had, which at that point I used to find really embarrassing to talk about, was that I had credit card debt that I just could not pay off. I was struggling to pay off the outstanding. I had already settled one credit card, and I thought that would teach me a lesson, but it did not, because I went on and got a second credit card. But when I joined the Women on Wealth program, the first objective for me was to become debt free. And within 3 months of doing the Money Gym program, I accomplished that. So whatever little debt I had, I could finally get rid of that, pay it off completely. And I still remember the day when Priyanka, she's a mentor, a friend, and she asked me, "What are you taking back from this program?" And I told her that, this feeling that the next month when my salary comes, I do not have to pay anybody and I have extra money to do whatever I want with it. I can now look at fulfilling my goals because I have this extra money and I can save. That was an exciting moment and I will never forget that. Since then, I have not looked back and have continued to live debt free. Some other goals that I also discovered I had, now that I had a little more money, was that I wanted to travel. But when you're broke, then you can barely think of traveling. But since being in the community and learning the skill, I've done a few solo trips. It started with Kerala, and then I went to Thailand on a solo trip. The following year, I went on a beautiful 7-day trek to Annapurna Base Camp in Nepal, which was amazing. My long dream had been to travel to Japan. Japan is also usually seen as a more expensive country to travel to. So I had a goal, I saved money for it. And then in 2019, I fulfilled my dream of traveling to Japan. And not only Japan, I also got to club in Hong Kong and Singapore the entire trip. So that really gave me the confidence that if anybody learns to manage their money and to have the financial skill, then they can make their bigger dreams also come true. So that was my experience. And of course, along with that, I've also built my emergency fund. I have better tax planning that I do now, and I'm able to also file my own tax returns, something which I was not doing earlier. And of course, now I've learned the art of also picking good quality stocks right from here. And I am now an active stock investor as well. Besides this, I am now working with my community in Nagaland so that women in Nagaland can become debt free. So I also co-founded this initiative of setting the Northeast debt free under the Women on Wealth umbrella. So that's a bit about me. And now over to everybody who is here. So what's the reason for spending time with us here? What has brought you here? What are your financial goals? So please type in the chat, what are your goals? Go ahead. So Lipika, Mohini, Monica, Priyanka, Shikha, Simple, Dipesh, do share what are your financial goals? It could be, like the many goals women come with are they want to buy a property, they want to travel, they want to plan their retirement, they want to save and invest for their children's higher education. Okay, Simple says to be able to manage her own money and to travel the world. Yay! Of course, yes, there's so much to see in the world. Who else? Shika says that she would like to save for children's higher education. Got that, Shika. Okay. Lipika says to invest her savings better with greater returns, develop an understanding of stocks, so better investments. Monica is on a mission to empower women from all strata of life. And this I can only do from my overflow. Got that. Dipesh says son's higher education. And for Mohini also, it's having a house of her own, traveling, old age savings. Got that. Thank you so much for sharing these goals with us. And now, what are some of the challenges that you are facing, which has caused a delay in reaching these goals? What are some of your financial challenges? You know, sometimes the challenges could be that you are in debt, or that you're not able to save enough money, or you're living paycheck to paycheck. Some women also think that they have low income, or there is fear of investing and hence they've never gotten started. Yes, it could also be that there is lack of knowledge, and that's why women haven't gotten started in investing their own money. So what are your challenges that you come here with? Okay. Fear of investment. There is also fear of losing money. Poor understanding of investments is another reason. Okay. So lack of knowledge, and hence that resulting in fear and discomfort in investing is coming out to be a common theme. Okay. Lack of technical things to charge more. Okay. I'm not very clear on that, Mohini. All right. So I think the key theme that is coming out is definitely lack of knowledge and poor understanding of the various investment options that are there. Got that. So thank you so much for sharing these challenges with us. And I hope that, you're here definitely because you want to overcome all of these challenges. In the time that we have, we may not be able to address all the challenges. However, you will find a way forward into dealing with some of these challenges so that you're able to overcome and then be able to reach your financial goals. So in this 90 minutes that we have remaining, within the remaining time, we will do our best to address as many challenges as we can. And one of the challenges that you have not pronounced is that there is a lack of system. There is a lot of information out there in the world. However, due to the lack of a system, we are not able to really put together all the information and be able to take action. So another challenge is that there is a lot of information, but not enough action that we're able to take. And one of the blocks that also comes is that we think that finance is difficult, or finance is only people who have commerce as a background, or economics or finance as a background, or an MBA in finance can be successful in personal finance. But it is not true. Finance is a system, and anybody who gets her hands on this system is able to be successful. And that is exactly what we have here. The programs that we have here is a system, and everybody can learn it. Okay. Another block that that exists in our society is that many people think that finance is a man's job. We are used to, we've grown up probably seeing the men in our lives taking charge of the finances, right? And of course, women and the society is evolving. Women are taking on many amazing roles, taking charge. However, there is still that gender role division that comes about when it comes to finance, you know, and but money and finance has nothing to do with gender. Men and women can be successful in investing. They can be successful in managing their own money and creating that financial success. So just wanted to break that myth for everybody here. And if you would like to know more about the work we are doing and how it can benefit your financial journey, then do find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We also have a Facebook page and a group where you can all participate. So I am, we will be sharing the links with you in the chat. Do follow us there so that you're able to enhance your skill and learn this for yourself. Okay. I will also would like to share on the screen with you the various resources that we have. Just a second. Okay, so you may take a screenshot of this. These are all the free resources, all the lives that we do. So Monday, we do the live on Instagram, Wake Up Women. Tuesday, we do decoding of the economic times wealth, ET wealth. Wednesdays, we have candid community conversations at 10 p.m. Thursdays, My Investment Mastery series at 10 a.m. on Facebook page. Fridays, we do decoding of the economic times at 10 a.m. Fridays at 4:30 p.m., we have Ask Me Anything. So you can drop a question and we will respond to your question on this live. And Fridays, 5 p.m., we also have the Online Money Book Club discussion. So Online Money Book Club is a free platform where we read books on finance, investing, personal finance, habit building, and mindset building. So this is on Telegram and you can join us there. And every Friday we meet on Zoom and we discuss the book that we're reading. Okay, so I hope you will all engage with us there too. And now on to the 3 secrets that you are here to learn. Thanks, Priyanka, for sharing the link with everybody. Now, the first secret, okay, the first concept that we must know is inflation. Okay, what is inflation? How many of you understand what inflation is? What, according to you, is inflation? You can put it in the chat, your understanding. And in the meantime, let me share this with you. Have you heard or ever participated or bought a scheme that said that, you spend a lakh every year, invest a lakh every year in a certain policy or scheme and keep it invested, invest that for 10 years. And then after 20 years, your money will be double. So after 20 years, you will earn 20 lakhs or 22 lakhs. So have you heard or bought such schemes ever? Yes or no? What do you think? Never heard of such a scheme where they said you invest a lakh for 10 years. So that's 10 lakhs. And then after 20 years, your money will double. Or, okay, Simple has heard that. Okay, Monica has also heard that. Yeah, awesome. Okay, but does our money really double? Or does the purchasing power of our money also double? Does it really increase? right? So Monica has already shared here. Monica is saying never. So Mohini has shared here that inflation is decrease in the rupee value. So in simple terms, inflation is mehengai, or how the price of goods and services increase. So even though the money, it appears to have increased, it appears to have doubled, but because of inflation, the purchasing power of that money reduces. So what appears to be 20 lakhs, 22 lakhs in 20 years' time, and you feel that your money is doubling, it is actually only the value of that money in reality would only be about 8.2 lakhs. And this is calculating inflation at 5%. So if inflation were to grow at 5%, which means that things are becoming expensive by 5% every year, then even if you get 22 lakhs 20 years later, the value in reality would be only 8. So which means that you can only buy goods and services worth 8.2 lakhs today. Okay, so this is what inflation does. And just in the newspaper the other day, it came out that inflation at this point is about consumer price inflation has touched about 6.3%. And just the previous month, it was about 4.7% or so. So we can see that inflation is already at 5% plus. So this is the power of inflation, right? And we got to generate returns. Now the question is that are our investments, are our savings really beating inflation? So how many of you have investments which are beating inflation, where your investments are generating more than 6% return? That is at this rate, right? And I'm not even going aggressive. Now, when we look at aggressive inflation rate, it could be 8% plus. But anybody who's confident that your investment is generating a return that is beating inflation? Anyone here? Okay, so looks like our investments are not beating inflation. Monica is saying mutual fund. So Monica, is your mutual fund investments giving you a return that is beating inflation? And for everybody who has been putting money in the savings bank account, how much return is that generating for you? Got that, Monica? So you're not sure if it's beating inflation. Got that. What about putting money in the savings bank account? Is that doing its job of beating inflation for you? How much return are you getting there? Simple is saying no. Got that. 4%. Yes, anywhere between 2 to 4%, right? That we get in our savings bank account. And even FDs do not do justice to this as well. So traditional savings and traditional investments are not really beating inflation. So we have to look at alternate investments that could really help us multiply our money. All the big goals that you have cited at the beginning of this webinar will require that you beat inflation and further generate enough wealth for you to comfortably reach all the goals without compromising on them. Okay, and this secret of how inflation impacts our investments was learned by our community member Khushali Shah. Now Khushali is a psychotherapist, and she joined our community. And what she learned, so she came in, again, finance is a very different subject, not knowledgeable around finance. So she came in and she learned about this, and she started to smartly design her portfolio herself, plan it in a way that it is able to generate returns, right? She made the adjustments in her portfolio, shifted her funds, and then she is today successfully generating. She just gave us an update the other day in the community that she's today earning 32,000 per month from her investments. So those are only her monthly return that she's generating because her investments are beating inflation. And she today successfully invests along with us in the community. And, her returns are over 100%. So that's the result that Khushali has generated by understanding this concept and becoming smart about her investments. Now, over to secret number 2. The secret number 2 is the 3 phases of wealth creation. So, many a times women generally we have maybe one source of income, or we have little money that we can invest, and hence we think that the the real good returns that we can generate will only come when we invest a large chunk of money. And with this mindset, we spend time accumulating money first. However, I would like to break it to you that if you want to create wealth, then you need to be doing all 3. You need to be accumulating your money, at the same time you have to be investing your money. So the 3 phases of wealth creation are: number 1, accumulation; number 2, growth phase; and then comes the income phase. But some of you may have a challenge that, or some women share that their challenge is that they are in debt or they can't save money. Now, if you have such challenges, then that means you have a challenge in the accumulation phase. And as long as this challenge persists, we will not be able to really see our money growing, because we will just be trying to accumulate money. Okay. But we know that only if we invest and see our money growing and beating inflation, then we will be able to reach our financial goals. Otherwise, we will only be playing catch up. We will only be chasing inflation and not really seeing real growth in our money. Okay. So something you need to understand is that there are 3 phases, and all of these happen simultaneously, because investments can also start with as little as 500 or 1,000 rupees, right? It doesn't have to be a large chunk of money. You beat inflation by getting started and by smartly investing in tools which generate higher return. Okay, so that's another thing that you need to know about wealth creation, that they happen in 3 phases. And if you are not investing, then you will never be able to reach all of your financial goals. You may be able to reach 1, right, or 2, but you may not be able to, you will not be able to make it to all of them comfortably. And understanding this, the various phases of wealth creation is a community member, Prema Gurung. So let me just introduce you to Prema Gurung. So she is a baker by profession, a home baker. And Prema understood these concepts. And she had, when she came in, she had 10 lakh worth of debt on her and her husband. So they were building their house, they were building their, home together, and they raked up a lot of debt on their credit cards, and they built a lot of EMIs. But when Prema came to Women on Wealth, she wasn't clear that she was in debt, because they were able to very comfortably pay their EMIs monthly, and hence they thought that this is not debt. But when she realized that the 10 lakh EMIs that she has now got is dead, she was shocked and she wanted to come out of it as soon as possible. So what did she do? She came in, and of course, at that time, the husband and wife were living paycheck to paycheck. And with the little money she had, the few thousand rupees that she had to make a choice of either getting financially skilled so that she can get out of this debt faster, or she could continue being in the paycheck to paycheck cycle. So Prema chose at that point to get financially educated, and within 22 months, she and her husband became debt free. Was it an easy ride for her? Not at all. Initially, her husband was, there were days when he would even say, "You don't have to go to Women on Wealth. I will teach you. I will bring out the Excel sheet, and we will do the planning and all those sort of things." But it wasn't working out for them. But when Prema followed the system at Women on Wealth and she caused that the family becomes debt free, her husband at that point flipped. And today, what happens is that, he hands all of his salary to Prema because she is now financially educated. She does all the investment studies, and she has put all the health insurance, life insurance, car insurance together for the house, and which is why she is now the financial minister of the house. So she takes all the money and she does all the investments, because she learned the art of doing all the planning and saving, managing, investing herself. When they got out of debt, also within the program, she ensured they build the emergency fund. So that she checked. She got the emergency fund built. And when there was an opportunity to buy a piece of land in her hometown, they jumped in and bought that piece of land. They had bought a car during that time. They also paid that off. They built an emergency fund. Like I said, Prema also started her store, her bakery in Delhi. So that's what she did. And they were ready to welcome their daughter into this world. And she now has a 1.5-year-old daughter. But once the child was born, COVID crisis happened in our country and the world over, which meant that the husband and wife both lost their income opportunity. The husband lost his job, and Prema couldn't bake anymore because of the COVID scare, which meant that there was no cash flow coming in for the family. But they did not panic because they had already built the financial foundation. They had the emergency fund in place. They had the investments going. So they were financially backed up. And that is the reason why for 1 year, when they did not have an income, they were still peacefully able to go through life and then spend the lovely time with their newborn. And today the husband is back at his work and Prema is continuing to invest. She now also helps women in Nagaland become financially more aware and financially skilled. So that is the story of Prema. And like Prema, there are many other women in our community who have become debt free. So, we hear such stories every day. So if anybody is in debt, then the system can help you too in becoming debt free. And now I move on to secret number 3. You may be wondering that, wow, so many women are doing it. This community is filled with women wealth creators. How do I do it? How can I become one? How can I tackle my financial challenges? So here is the way to go forward for you too, for anybody who's beginning or who wants to take it to the next level. The first point is to resolve to start. Many times we know saving is good. We know investing is the way forward, yet we do not get started. But until we start, nothing is going to shift in our lives. So the first step is to resolve to start. So all you women here who have left whatever you were doing and have come here to attend this webinar, Are you resolving to start so that you're able to reach your goals with velocity? Are you ready to make that shift? Are you willing to start and take different actions? So let me see some responses here. So Simple is ready to start. She has resolved to start. Got that. Who else is resolving to begin and stop waiting for things to happen? Let's hear some responses. Because many a times what we hear is that, there is always something that is happening. There is always children's examination, or somebody in the family is hospitalized, right? There is a career halt that happens. There is no income that we say. So there are always so many reasons. Sometimes there's festivals, sometimes there's a wedding in the family, and all of these reasons. Sometimes there's another course that is happening, or office is too busy, too many projects going on. There's always something which delays our decision in really starting. So I'm glad that some of you are here because you want to now get started and stop waiting. Now, when you get started, what is important is that you don't just go blindly invest because somebody had said something, but you invest through research and following a system that works for you. Okay, so there is a methodical way in investing, and that's what you need to know. So research and method, and not blindly following tips. Because if tips could make us all reach our financial goals, if tips could all make us wealthy, then we would all be wealthy by now, because there's enough tips flowing out in the internet world, especially, right? Even our neighborhood uncle who is not building wealth for himself will have a couple of tips for us, but that is not the way to go about it. The next step is the next thing to do and to be, rather, is to have that investor attitude. There is no get rich quick scheme here. At least here we do not have any get rich quick scheme. And if you're here for that, then I'm sorry to say you will be disappointed, because here this is a place for women who are willing to learn, who are willing to persist, and who are willing to bring about the discipline of learning and investing, because only then we will be able to reach our goals. So are you willing to build this investor attitude is also another question you may want to ask yourself. Because without this, again, you may only make it to half of your goals, but not all of them. So the willingness to learn, persistence, and discipline. Got that. I love that Monica is 100% committed. Yes, and this is definitely for women who are committed, because it's going to take quite some work, but also know that you are not alone in this. You are surrounded by many wealth creators, all women in this community who are equally committed to make things happen for themselves. Next is mentors are a key. Why struggle alone? And why go through the same step again and again? There must be a way that someone else has tried, and someone who can show us the way. So mentors are a key. But when we say mentors, we are not talking about people who will advise, or people who give advice. But mentors are really people who are knowledgeable themselves, who have taken these steps themselves, who are educated, okay, who do their own research and study, and then make their financially intelligent decisions. They make independent financial decisions through the knowledge that they have acquired. So those are the kind of people you want to look for. Mentors are definitely a key. They can help us shorten our journey by a great extent. So look for mentors, but not people who would just advise, but people who also take the education themselves. Community, if you're looking to get started, you all understand that finance is not a 3-month project, that you will build a financial plan today and then shut it and then you will reach your goals. It is not going to work like that. It is going to be a lifelong journey. Building wealth will take some time, and in this journey, if you have people who are on the same path, then that will be this greatest secret to your success. At Women on Wealth, we have women every day joining us in learning, studying together, and being on this path. We are following the same system, the same structures, and we have that confidence that if we stick together, if we stay together, then we will be able to reach our financial goals. So community is a secret, and you are known by the 5 friends you keep. So look around. If you're not building wealth, then maybe one of the questions is, do I have enough wealth creator friends? If not, then Women on Wealth is a place where you can find them. So these are the 3 secrets, and I hope that you have gotten value from whatever I have shared with you guys today. So now I would want to also share with you how Anjali Dogra, who is a doctor by profession, she understood that she has to resolve to start. She needs to find a community. She needs to find a mentor. She was an expert. She's an expert at what she does, but she acknowledged that she wasn't an expert at finance. In fact, she used to share that how she used to run away from any group of people who would be maybe even colleagues, who would be talking about finance or investments, because she just couldn't understand it and she used to run away. Anjali also at the same time lacked the knowledge of managing and really growing her money. She did not know that because she lacked the skill. She had the skill to earn money, but she lacked the skill to grow her money. And that's when a friend introduced her to Women on Wealth. She came in. She, just like many of you, she has big dreams of sending her kids abroad for their further studies. Her eldest son is 10 years old, and he wants to go abroad and study. But with the kind of investment choices she was making, she was clear that she would not be able to fulfill all her goals, her retirement as well, her husband's retirement, and the kids' higher education. So when she came in, it's been about 2 years that Anjali has been here. She was really clueless. She also didn't have enough emergency fund built. But within the 2 years that she's been here, applying the principles, what she has learned through the programs here, and with the help of the community, she today has increased her net worth to 20 lakhs, all through her own study and investment. She's also a stock investor. And now when she goes to work, she shares how her colleagues wait so that if they have any financial query, then she can sit down with Anjali and talk about it over chai. So that's Anjali's success story. And, she continues to thrive in the community. And I hope that these 3 women whose stories we have shared inspire you to take action. So how many of you are inspired? And don't forget, there are many, many such stories. You can always check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Just yesterday, we had, on Monday, in fact, we had Aparna Raja from Bangalore. She shared her story on Instagram, and we have also got that on Facebook. So don't forget to check that out if you want further inspiration. So Simple is sharing how she is truly inspired by these women. Anyone else who's inspired and who's resolving to begin, because you can't wait to reach your financial goals with fire in your belly. So do bring them in. And now I would also want to give you guys some time to ask any questions you may have. And, we are here to answer them for you. So we're taking the next few minutes to answer any questions. So what are your questions? Go ahead. So, sometimes you are members who join in, they have questions like, can I do it? What's the prerequisite? Do I need to have some background in finance? So any question, or you may have question about the community that you may want to ask. So feel free to bring them forward. No questions? Got that. Okay, so if you do not have any questions at this point, I have some questions for you. Okay. All right, wait a minute. We do have a question from Prithvi, who's asking, what should be the first step we should be taking in terms of saving money? Lipika has a question around the fee. Got that. Sure. Any question that you have related to the program that we have, the Money Gym program, we will be sharing all the details with you in a while, and also take any questions around the program when we share it. So do wait for a couple more minutes for that. Okay, so Prithvi has a question around saving money and how should we distribute our money in wealth creation? Got that. So here are a couple of things I would share from my experience and what we do in the community. The first step to taking in terms of saving money is to be aware of where your money is going, because one of the biggest challenges in not being able to save money is because I just don't know where my money is going. So Prithvi, if you are someone who has not been writing down your money in and out, then start doing that today. So you write down how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. Be detailed about it. Okay. Which means that not saying that, oh, it's just 10 rupees, so let me not write it. No, be disciplined and write every rupee that comes in and goes out. That's one thing. Number two, you have also asked about how should we distribute our money in wealth creation. So like buying a house, okay, so you're saying about a certain financial goal that we have. The first step to, if you are really clear that house is what you want to buy, for example, that you have shared here, the next step is to be clear about by when do you want to buy it, right? You have a goal, by what time do you want to reach it? And then, how much money are you really able to put aside towards this goal? Okay, that's another thing, because the plan may say that, okay, I want to in 5 years buy a house, but are you able to save and invest enough to reach that in 5 years time? So you may have to be slightly flexible here depending on how much you're able to save. The next thing you would want to do is really, through your knowledge, identify if it's a long-term goal, what investment instrument can really help you leverage, so that you can leverage the time through this investment to reach your goals. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly recap. For saving money, please do your write down your expenses, track your expenses. For your goals, if you're clear about the goal, find out how much is the price of that goal, which means of what is the goal amount. Okay. Then the next step would be to, yes, also calculate future value. Remember, we talked about inflation today. So you may see that in 5 years time, I need, let's say, 15 lakhs. But if you factor in inflation, a certain future value of that goal will come about. Okay. And the future value may not be 15 lakhs, it may be 20 lakhs, right? because of inflation. So what you want to actually work towards is the future value and not the current price of that gold. Okay. And depending on how much money you can actually put aside for this goal, you also want to see what investment you can leverage. And really, the attitude you want to bring is being a little flexible, perhaps, because all these goals can be reached at different timelines. So these are some things that I can share with you of how I would approach in planning for my financial goal. I hope that I was able to give some pointers that you're able to take away and work on. Okay. Thanks so much for the question, Prithvi. And now I said that, I have some questions for you. So how many of you realize that there is a lot more that you can learn in personal finance to really reach your goal? So how many of you realize that there's so much more to learn and implement for you to reach your goals? You can put in the chat if there's any understanding, or if you have realized that, yeah, there's a lot more to learn. This is just the 3 points and 3 concepts. Okay, Simple says there is a lot to learn, and Prithvi also got that, Prithvi. So you are following traditional method like FD and RD, got, and some insurance, yes. And of course, from the discussion we did earlier, we identified how FDs and RDs are good, safe instruments to safeguard our capital. However, they are not inflation beating instruments. So for all the big goals that we have, we will have to look at other options, right? So you will learn all of that in the if you join the community. So my second question to everybody present here, everybody watching the live, is that how many of you realize that if we don't skill up in this area, then the challenges that you all came with will continue to be challenges in your life, and they are going to delay you in reaching your financial goals. So how many of you realize that you could be maybe grinding and struggling for the rest of your life? Anybody for whom this realization has set in, perhaps, that, okay, if I just continue the way I'm going, then I will be grinding and struggling for the rest of my life? Okay, so if there's anybody out there who feels this way, then do share. Okay, and because you all came in because you have certain financial goals and you want to reach those goals, and you're looking for a system that could reduce the amount of time and stress perhaps in reaching those goals. So that is why we have designed the Money Gym program. So, and everybody else who was waiting to listen to the program details, I am now going to share the details with you. You can, make a note of them. So I'm introducing you to our Money Gym program. This is the financial system that is helping women save more, become debt free, come out of living paycheck to paycheck, and then reach their investment goals and their financial goals. So this is our personal finance blueprint. It's the ultimate training system designed to give you access to financial freedom. And remember, decisions will change destiny. So here are the details of the Money Gym program, topic by topic. So in this Money Gym program, you will learn about financial goals and future value of your financial goals, inflation and its impact on your money life and goals, building financial consciousness, your net worth and asset allocation, diversification of your investments. Then building your investment portfolio, you will learn about the basics of investing, financial planning, reaching your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, and retirement planning. Here at Women on Wealth, we focus a lot on retirement planning because that is the key to your financial freedom. Understanding gold ETFs and gold funds, mutual fund study and selection. So you will actually learn the method to select and not just invest, but you will learn what is the reason why you have selected that fund. So you get to learn that. Tax planning and tax saving strategies, monthly tabulation, financial integrity and fulfillment, wall chart to your financial freedom, roadmap to your goals, skill and action gap identification. You'll also learn about basics of money, what is money and your relationship with it, and what is enough. So these are the various Money Gym topics that we will cover in the Money Gym program. The lifetime value of this course is that you get access to come out of living paycheck to paycheck. You become debt free. You increase your savings by 25% more, and some women do much more than this as well. You get clarity on your financial goals, and you learn the basics of financial planning, especially retirement planning. You become your own financial planner for the rest of your life. So, this is a program that can help you say bye-bye to your financial advisor or your financial planner. You build an investment portfolio independently and confidently without having to rely on husband, broker, brother, friend. You do it yourself, okay? And you learn the step-by-step methodology to pick good quality equity mutual funds, gold, and many other investments. Now, why do we say that this is going to create lifetime value for you? Because once you learn this, once you learn the system, at any stage of your life, you get to use that system yourself independently and confidently. So that's why this program, once learned, will keep creating the value for you at different stages of your life. And you can start on your financial success today. So how will it work? The Money Gym program is designed in a way where first you get access to 10 video recordings for you to watch, learn, and implement. Along with the 10 video recordings, the first set of 10 videos are the concepts, financial concepts, tools, and structures of personal finance. You also get two video folders as bonus. So a total of 25 supplementary videos to aid your investment decisions. So one video series purely on mutual funds, and the second video series purely on investments. So when you gain access, you get access to these 3 videos. So a total of 35 plus videos you will get. You have unlimited access to the video recordings, which means once you gain access, you can log in anytime and watch any number of times. Plus, you have comprehensive worksheets. So we also give you a worksheet. So when you watch and implement and practice on these worksheets. And you work with real numbers. These are not hypothetical numbers, but you will learn with your numbers on this sheet. Once you gain access, you will be logging into the Women on Wealth School. It will appear like this on the Teachable platform. And once you log in, all the videos will show up like this. So you go one by one. Okay. And that is not all. Along with the video recordings, the videos on investments, the comprehensive worksheet, you also get group coaching. Okay. 5 live sessions now, which is where you will get to spend time with the mentor. One of the challenges, right? One of the reasons why many women express that videos don't work for them is because they are left alone in watching the videos. But that's not the case here. We support you by bringing in the live group coaching sessions, which will give you a target date to work towards for completing the videos. You will also spend time with the mentor and your group so that you bring velocity to implementation of the system. Next, you get to take feedback on your worksheets. So the worksheet that you work on, implement your work on, we give you feedback on that. Also, you get your queries answered in the live group coaching. So you get to bring your doubts. You may have some unique questions, questions which are unique to your financial goals and your life. So we will answer those questions and support you as well. You get to experience the power of the community, because once the group coaching begins, you will be with your fellow women wealth creators. You get to also learn from each other's questions, and of course, you get this time to spend with the mentor. Okay, so the next online group coaching begins on the 17th of July. That is Saturday from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. sharp. So you may make a note of this. Please write this date down. Okay. And so that's every Saturday for 5 Saturdays every week. So that's 1 hour starting 17th of July, every Saturday with the mentor from 12:30 to 1:30. Okay. And that is not all. Okay. Once you complete the live group coaching as well, upon successful completion of the Money Gym program, you get to join your women investors community, and there will be monthly meets. So this is a community of all the women who've done the Money Gym program, who are actively working on their money life. You get to be part of that. They will answer your questions whenever you have doubt. No question is a silly question there. You get to also respond to others' questions, and that gives you more clarity on the study that you have done. Okay, so that's what. And every month, once a month, all the investors, we connect on Zoom to take our study forward. We deal with our challenges, and we upgrade our knowledge. And this access to the wealth creators community, the Money Gym graduate community, at this point, it is lifetime access that you will have once you join the community. And here's a snapshot of our thriving community in the Meet. So this is for continuous education, ask and give support, and it also helps us be on track with the new financial system that we learn. Okay, so now getting started. The investment in yourself, the original price of this program is 1,20,000. But do you pay 1,20,000 today? No. Today you get a special price of only rupees 30,000. And this is for all the video recordings, for all the group sessions that you will attend, and all the community meetup, the comprehensive worksheet, and all the lives and the community that you get to be a part of. So that's 30,000. But if you're ready to commit to your financial future today, if there's no looking back for you today, then you pay a one-time fee of rupees 27,000, which means you further save 3,000 rupees, and you get to join the community and start with the video recordings. And if anybody here is looking for an installment plan, then you can commit and book your seat for the July 17 batch by paying only rupees 3,000 right away. Then the installment plan is that you pay 3,000 today, and tomorrow you pay 7,000. Once you fulfill the 10,000 payment towards your registration, you will get access to the video recordings. After that, the next payment you do on the 1st of July, and then the last payment of 10,000 you do by the 1st of August. So you can also take this payment plan. And for whoever is jumping in, for all of you who are ready to begin, Here is the payment screen. You can Google Pay or Paytm to this number. Don't forget to send the screenshot on WhatsApp, and we will also be sharing the payment details on chat with you. Okay. And if anybody wants to pay by credit or debit card, then do ask, and we will also share the payment links with you. So now the ultimate question, who is ready to begin? And if you have any questions or concerns, then I am here along with my team to answer them for you. And for all the wonderful people, the future wealth creators watching this live on Facebook or YouTube, do reach out to us if you also want to become a part of our community and get started on your wealth creation journey. So stopping the live now.